Hi, my name is Lindsay, and for my speech today, I would like to talk about the crossroad of failure education. I will discuss how are we going to teach children to adapt failure and to face their fails in their daily life. So to start with, I want to first talk about this boy I know. He is now studying in the best middle school in Wuhan. He plays guitar, he plays basketball, and he can almost be described as a math genius. But recently it surprised me because I was told that this boy stopped going to school just because he failed to adapt the new learning environment during the lockdown period, and he is grateful. You may wonder, how would a boy like this give up school that easily? Actually, this boy is not the only one under this kind of situation in China. During the lockdown period, by sampling research, 90% of students think that they're under anxiety. And 22.4% of Chinese students claim that the anxiety because of the failure in studies has made their day-to-day life more difficult. So as a children who used to be educated in Chinese education circumstances, I understand where did their anxiety came from. Back in middle school, I was terribly sick for a while. My world went gray because I feel like I cannot do anything perfectly. But another thing I know is that I can't fail because I was told that if I fail to learn good in middle school, I cannot go to good high school and university. And if I cannot adapt school life and communicate with people, I cannot adapt the society, and then I will become an outsider. I feel like the opportunity cost of failure is too high and I could never afford it. Actually, I believe that the situation of mine and other students in China are very similar. We failed because of some accident we can never predict it. We don't really understand what is failure, but we know the opportunity cost, the cost of the failure is so high that we cannot afford. That is because we are always told this way. I understand people educate me to tell me that failure is terrible because they want me to try harder to success. They think if I know the consequence of being failure, I could try harder to be a more successful person. But is failure really that terrible? During all this year in China, the education has improved so much. Back to 1980s, there are only 675 colleges in China. But now, the amount has increased to 3,000. Back to 1985, with the reform of Chinese education system, the quality education has been pushed forward, which means that people start to think about how to tell children to success, to fail, and to adapt the social life. So while the education resources is more and more available around the whole world, humanity are on a new crossroad. How would failure be educated? One way we can do this is that we can tell children how bad it is to fail. So maybe they know the consequence and they will try harder to success. But there is another way. We tell children how to adapt failure and how to live with it. Actually, I always believe that the meaning of education is wonderful because it tells people how to adapt themselves, how to recognize themselves in the society. But actually, I think in the society, failure could happen even more often than success, which means that failure is so important and definitely common in our social life. It is not worthwhile to criticize failure just because to emphasize how good it is to success. And it is not worthwhile to stop our children from trying hard just because the fear of failure. Rather than that, why don't we tell children how to face failure? We can offer opportunity, help, suggestions, and we can even more offer some understanding to those children who are in difficult situations. Therefore, they could know more about what to do. They could be more creative and be more undefeatable. The next time I would meet the boy would be like in 1 week. So I think at that time I will tell him that it is so common for middle school students to make mistakes. So you can absolutely allow yourself to be wrong. More importantly, you should know that you can live with it. You can talk about it, laugh about it, and eventually the success would make a part of you. The failure would also change you totally. And that is all for my speech. Thank you very much.